Obviously, it's a rivalry game. It's a big game for the state, big game for the university. But we look at every week as a 1-0 championship season. We talk about that as a team all the time, and that's kind of the same thing the guys have been telling me. So that just goes to show you how much Coach Fleck's influence and his culture just stems down to the players. They're telling me the same things that he preaches, which is just great news.
What stands out to you about Iowa's offense?
They're very good at what they do. They're very decisive. Um, they're very good at what they do in the sense that if you're not on point and you're not tapped into the little things and the details, they can hurt you. And you see that week in and week out, year in and year out. They're a very good offense, and we're going to prepare for that.
What's been your impression of Coach Monroe, position coach?
I love Coach Monroe. High energy guy. He makes sure that you come to practice with that same energy. If you don't match his energy, you're going to stick out in that room. So you just got to come to practice ready to work every single day. You have to come with kind of like your shield on because you may make a good play, but he's going to coach you on what you could have did better, what you could have done wrong. In the same sense, he will give you your compliments and will tell you what you did good, but he's always looking to help you grow as a player, and that's exactly was one of the things I was looking for coming to a school, so I can't even complain.
Before the Rhode Island game, I know we talked to the team. What did you take away from that message?
Live in the moment. Don't wish away time. It's my last year. It's obviously we have a bunch of seniors on the team. We have a lot of young players that wish it was their time, wish. But now that I'm here, like when you when you get there, you kind of wish you had that time back. So just don't wish away time. Always stay in the moment. Play every moment that's right in front of you, and just live and enjoy your life.
What have you seen from Zaquan this week as he might have a bigger opportunity ahead on Saturday?
Z always prepares for the challenge. He's always prepared to go out there and play. As we saw, UNC came in first, third down, had a big PBU, could have been a pick six. So Z performs. He practices to perform, practices ready to perform, and he did the same thing this week. So nothing new for Z.
Minnesota and Iowa games have been low scoring and tight. Is being patient something that's being stressed?
I mean, I wouldn't really say being stressed. We know what type of game it's going to be. We know it's going to be a physical game. We know both teams are going to come out swinging their punches. So we just got to stay poised in each situation, stick to what we do, and kind of like stay concerned with ourselves. Yes, we have an opponent, but we have to do better than what we did the past couple weeks and just keep building as a team, keep growing. That's kind of our mindset going into it.
What have you seen out of Jack Anderson the last couple weeks and how he played?
Yeah, Hendo's great. I mean, very physical dude, very physical in the run game, and he does give you some support in his drops. As you saw, he dropped underneath the little route I had, pick six, got a lead block for him. Like he knows his job, knows his role. Very physical, very solid player, great leader. Love Hendo.
Iowa's run games run for over 200 yards in each of the first three games. What makes it so good?
Just it's what they do. I mean, when you practice something over and over and over and over again, and your coaches are so honed in on the fine details, the techniques, you get really good at it. So we have to do a good job of staying true to what we do in an attempt to stop that. Their backs are very physical. They run behind their pads, and we just have to be prepared come Saturday.
What do you think's been key to having so many interceptions through three games as a team? I know you got your first one this year, last game. What's been key for the secondary in that regard?
Practice. Since spring ball, since I got here, everything with Coach Heatherman has been about the ball. Ball's a program, as you hear Coach Fleck say all the time. But then Coach Heatherman, we want to get the ball, win the turnover battle all the time. So whether the ball's in the air in practice, whether it's on the ground, we're going to get the ball. So just having that obsession with it and that knack for and that want and that drive and that determination to go get it. Like now you have guys, you see it all the time, like Kerry Brown, 2 picks this week, see the ball in the air, go get it. So that's really been our mindset in practice, and it's carrying over to the games now.
You have yourself and Jack on defense and Max on offense who played at SES programs. Is there a little bit of a pride for you guys putting out, giving it a shot up at in the Big Ten?
Yeah, I mean, there's always a pride when you come up and you step into a new level. It's what you've wished your whole life for. I'm pretty sure it's the same for those guys. So you just always want to put your best foot forward and show everyone that you may consider a doubter or whatever you consider out here. You just want to show them that you're here for the moment. You've prepared for it just as well as any other guys that have been at this level, and you're just ready to play every week.
How helpful is it, or is it helpful at all that I've already played one of the premier backs in the college football playing in Hampton week one, now playing another one coming this week?
Repeat that.
Just how helpful is it having seen a guy that can make plays by himself like Hampton?
Oh, yeah. I mean, that's very helpful going into this game. Iowa's back's really good. Their whole core backs is really good. So just seeing similar styles, similar sizes, similar frames. Like, we learned lessons from week one about missing tackles and how we have to adjust in our techniques, and we've been going back to that in practice. So it's just you get another shot at it. Last 2 weeks we've seen some good backs, but they haven't quite been these guys. So now we get another shot at it, and I feel like we're prepared. I feel like you have to ask Coach Moreau that one. We have a couple things going around, a little celebrations that we do, but we just at Corners we keep everything a little bit more in house. All good.
Anything else for you?
Thank you guys. Enjoy the rest of your day.
Iowa's run defense has only allowed 2 runs of over 10 yards so far this year. You guys are going to find some success in the ground. What's got to happen?
I think that we just go back to our basic fundamentals and details. We go back to making our read progressions, and I mean, it's really up to me to perform. So I mean, it's just going back to those basic things that Coach Nick's been teaching us, and just be me.
You look like you're just a touch more patient this year. It look like the experience is pretty good, especially having a couple of drop tackle plays. Is that true? Does that just come with experience?
Yes, I think the game slows down a little bit as you play more. Coming from high school to college, it was moving fast, but I feel like this year having the whole off season to prepare for the season gave me an even better vision on the field, and it slowed it down just a little bit.
Do you have a favorite part of that 8-yard touchdown run?
I'd say just doing the things that my coach has been coaching this whole time, and it finally came out and worked, teaching me to get vertical and just run through tackles instead of like bracing for the contact and just running through them. So that was really cool, and to go off and talk to him about it.
How much has Mo been around here these last few weeks?
He's been around a lot. It's been really cool to have him back around. He's given me a lot of advice and also been holding me to the standard during practice. So practice has been even tougher because, I mean, he's holding me to the standard that he held himself to. So I think that'll be good for me, and he's teaching me how to become a better player on the next level.
What's an example of what he does in practice to overcome?
He makes me, like, finish every run in the end zone. So I think that's helping me just with having better wind even when I'm playing. And, I mean, he just said, like, when he was on teams at the next level that there was guys that finished on every single play in the end zone full speed, and there was not a blink of an eye. It's just what they do. So
Given your preseason injury, were you 100% right away against Rhode Island, or does it take a little bit?
I felt pretty good. I think that I just started off kind of slow, just getting my feet back under me. That's pretty much it.
Mo was also a tough runner. You know, he carried the ball against Iowa the last time. I think it was 35, 40 times.
He did.
Can you learn that? I mean, is there a way to create endurance and toughness? And what can he offer you that way in terms of if it's your night to carry the ball 35 times, what you have to do to sustain yourself?
I think that the biggest thing is like prehab, making sure that your body's 100% going into the game on all aspects, and then also just being hydrated and like I said, like in practice, finishing those runs, it gives you a little bit of extra wind. I mean, I experienced it a little bit last year in the bowl game. I had upwards of like 35 carries. So I mean, I understand what it takes. I think that he just did a great job of just always going. He has a high motor. I think that. I mean, that's just how he is. He was just made like that. So he's just a different type of player. So he just has it.
On the flip side of that, do you see benefit though sharing some time and maybe being on the sideline for a series or whatever, just to try to stay fresh through the game and then the season?
I think that it's awesome. Marcus and JoJo have been doing a great job. There's no drop-off when they go out on the field. So, I mean, that's been the biggest thing I've been saying since last season. Even when JoJo stepped in last year when I went down, there's no drop-off in our room. That's something that we hold ourselves to. Me and Coach Nick talk about it all the time. The standard's the standard. And no matter who's out there, he says to us before every game, no matter who's out there, when they're out there, the standard doesn't go down. We have to be us.
Corey catching headlines as a true freshman, kind of similar to you did. Have you talked to him at all? Have formed a bond with him?
Yeah, me and Corey kind of formed a bond. Really before he kind of got here, I went to a Timberwolves game with him through who we partnered with, IFA. But I mean, it's been really cool to see him in the spotlight. I understand what it's like. I mean, we've talked about it a little bit, not much. He's done a great job of handling it. He's very mature and he understands how to handle it. He doesn't act any different way. He's just a sound guy, great guy, really humble. So that's been nice.
What do you take from your first rivalry game against Iowa going into your second?
I take that. I mean, it's gonna be a tough game. Like just it's sound football on both ends of the game. It's really exciting to go play. And like I said, we're gonna go back to our basic fundamentals and details and just lock in on what we have to do.
Anything else for Darius? All right, thanks, Darius.
You lead.
Parker, what makes Phil Parker's defense so difficult to go against?
So this is my first time doing it, and I've obviously heard a lot. I'm seeing a lot about what their defense does, and I think the first thing that comes to mind is they're a sound physical football team. They put guys in the right spots, and they're all super athletic on defense, and they can, they know where they're supposed to be on defense, and they're a physical football team. I think that's what makes playing them difficult. I look forward to the challenge. Yeah, I think it's number one is taking what they give us. That's going to be the story this week. Obviously, they're one of the top defenses right now, and they have been for the past few years. And we know that going into the game. And for us, it's a matter of sticking to the game plan, doing what's asked of us on offense to score points, and keep the ball in our hands.
Have you gotten out of the trophy room and checked out Floyd?
Yes, I have. Yeah, that was one of the things we kind of visited through when I visited here in January and December, and it's been on display now for the week.
What's your take on the rivalry and what you've been taught by your teammates and everything?
Like kind of I mentioned earlier, it's one of the most physical football games that they've played in, and continue playing every single year. And this is something new for me too, where I get to experience it with this team and get to be part of it for my last year and most of the offenses last year. And I think that's the number one thing it comes down to is are you willing to maintain the physicality throughout the whole game? And the team that does is the team that comes on top.
You were born in Iowa, right?
I was, yeah, Davenport.
How long did you live there?
I don't remember actually living there. I was born in Davenport, and we moved to Ohio after that. Me and Frank Bierman were born in the same hospital in Davenport, which is pretty cool. Completely different walks of life, and then we find out that we were born in Genesis. So that was pretty cool.
Next, how you different quarterback this week and say the week before North Carolina? What have you learned in 3 weeks or so?
Yeah, I think we all strive to change our best every single week. That's been our team motto, is to continue to change our best. And I think for week one, it was a matter of kind of getting comfortable and filling those shoes and feeling like I'm part of the team as the starting quarterback there into week one. And now it's developed where this team has completely changed in a good way. I think there's stuff that we work on every single week that we've done a really good job of getting better at completing the fixables that we talked about. And for me as a quarterback, it's a matter of me staying with the team in rhythm to make sure that we're progressing at the same rate, and to make sure that we're doing what's asked of us every single Saturday and throughout the week too. So I think it's a growing thing, and I hope to put my best product on the field every single Saturday with my team.
Iowa's run defense has allowed 2 runs over 10 yards in 3 games. What makes them so good?
They're extremely stout up front. Their D-line and their interior backers are extremely stout. Like I said, physical earlier, and I think that's what they pride themselves on defense, is by stopping the run. And that causes a lot of issues for a lot of offenses around the country, and because that's the first thing that every defense would stop is to stop the run. And they do a really good job at that. And I think it's a battle of the trenches throughout the whole game, and I think that's where the physicality comes from, is in the box. And I'm excited to see the guys attack it this week.
How have you seen Harbaugh and Callahan really challenge the offensive line this week?
I think it's understood. I think Coach Harbaugh and Callie have done an amazing job. I think starting from Sunday, of reaffirming the guys that hey, this is Iowa week, and I don't think that needs to be restated more than once, because I think people understand this the severity of this game, and so for the guys that have been there too for most of the O-line, they've played in this game before, they know what it takes, and I think that's awesome to have a veteran O-line that's done it before, and guys to lead the group through that, and I think the O-line's done an amazing job taking that through this week.
You talked about the physicality of this game, but then the mental battle as well. Just how excited you for the chess game, I guess, against football.
Yeah, we talk about being excited, anticipating the game. I think a lot of guys, dream to be in this spot, under the lights in a huge Big Ten game like this, and one of the top rivalries in college football. I think you grow up and you want to be on these stages, and for this team, it's one of those stages. And I think for us, it's a one-game championship season. And Iowa happens to be this Saturday, and obviously, we know it's a huge game for us, and we can't wait to compete this weekend. It's a dogfight for sure. It's a bare knuckle, dogfight. I think that's how all rivalry games should be. And this one happens to be one of the more physical rivalry games. Two really physical Big Ten teams coming head to head. And I'm excited for that challenge. I think, rivalry games are part of the cool pageantry of college football. And we get to experience being a part of one of the biggest. And we are really eager to compete this weekend. And I think the guys are chomping at the bit to get ready to go.
Assuming it's a close game again, as they have been in recent years, as a quarterback, how important is it for you to kind of have late game command and know kind of how to
Yeah.
handle
Yeah.
situations, and how do you go about making sure you're on the right side of things?
Yeah, I think the late game command is important, but I think it's a command over the whole game because in these games every single play it matters. You can't take a play off if you're any position on the field and expect to be successful on that drive, especially in these games against this defense. And for us, we're challenging ourselves to complete the standard the whole game, and I think that's what will allow us to be successful this game is by holding the standard every single play throughout the whole offense. And yeah, as you talk into late game, that's where it comes down to the wire, and that's where games are won and lost. And I think we've done a really good job of our communication, and that's what the biggest thing that people start to lose towards the end of the game is communication. And our offense does that extremely well, and so I'm excited to see how it happens.
And how do you two balance the against a good defense? Last week had a touchdown again of managing the risk, but also not being so tight that
Yeah.
you never give yourself a chance.
Yeah, I think you just have to play. I think if you think too much about if I do this and make this throw, maybe this is going to happen. Whatever. Like if you're thinking too much, that's when actual errors happen. If you're just going out and play and an error happens to happen, that's just how football works. There's good playmakers throughout the whole field, but ultimately you have to trust yourself and trust your teammates to get the job done. And that's what our team does really well. And I think that's why successful quarterbacks and successful offenses are successful is because they just play.
You have yourself, and then Ethan Robinson and Jack Henderson that came from SES schools.
Mhm.
Is there a point of pride there with you guys that you're getting it done?
Oh yeah, I talk to those guys as my FCS brothers. I call them all the time. Jack Henderson's my locker mate. And Ethan and I came in together obviously this past recruiting class, and so we wear that in a good way and not in a way it's like all in a way of good perspective. I think we provide for the team as best we can, and we show that with our work ethic too. And I think those guys are perfect definitions of gritty blue collar work ethic guys, and because we know where we came from. And I think this team also defines that as well. I think that's one of our values and our morals here is to be maroon collar, be a blue collar team, and I think we fit in very well with that.
How does Darius compare to Dylan Lobb as a pass catcher?
They're similar. They're different backs. Darius is a little bigger. Dylan might get mad at me for saying that, but he's a little bigger than Dill. And they both are extremely efficient in the pass game. Having a running back that can be dynamic in the pass game, puts the defense is in a little different position and they have to game plan a little differently. And that's what having those backs does to a defense and allows us to change up the tempo and change up the flow of the game by throwing a check down or throwing a route or whatever, to have an extra threat in the pass game in the backfield. So that's what NFL offenses, they do that as well, and that's what makes them successful. And I think Darius has taken that, and Marcus and our whole running back room has done a really good job with that so far.
We've seen you scramble and go head first, and then you see what happened last Thursday night with Tua.
Mm-hmm.
How cognizant do you have to be of sliding versus trying to get that extra yard or two?
Yeah, I think number one situation, when you should, when you shouldn't, and then also to go back to the point of just playing. I think there's a piece where if you're thinking too much, and you're in between. I've had scenarios actually when I was a freshman where I was in between trying to dive and trying to slide, and I actually got hit even harder and got targeting, which was good. The guy got out of the game, but from my freshman year against Coach Heatherman actually against JMU, but I went viral because I didn't know how to slide apparently, and so that was part of me thinking too much of what I should do and what I should not do, and so I think I've learned my lesson from that. And if we're in a situation where it calls for me to dive, then I'll dive. If that situation is not too severe, I guess I would probably lean towards sliding.
Time for one or two more, if anyone's got it.
At New Hampshire, you've had times where you have scrambled and then gotten long gains, touchdowns. Do you feel like you're maybe on the verge of being able to pop one of those at some point too?
I think it's a little different. I think I learned my lesson on against UNC first week, and that's something that it'll carry with me throughout the year. But I think when it calls for it, it calls for it. I'm going to make sure that I can put the ball in the playmaker's hands as best as possible, and if that doesn't happen, then I'll find the next route, and then find the escape. I think whatever it calls for is what I'll do. Thanks, guys.
Momentum defensively, and yet now you play a team from the Big Ten. Can you explain the difference, or can you take what the last two games and say this will work, this won't work because it's Iowa? How do you go about that?
Yeah, certainly. I think really what we're focusing on is being the best version of ourselves each and every single day. Yes, you're game planning a certain opponent each week, but at the end of the day, it's can I be at my best when I need to at the right moment, right? It's not, and again, it's, yes, I'm watching film on my opponent. I need to know what they're doing to know what I have to do. But at the end of the day, I need to be at my best versus each opponent that we're going to play, because this week it's a 1-0 championship season against Iowa. The week prior it was against Nevada. So it's not making a moment too big, not making it bigger than it is. At the end of the day, it's another game. It's a historical rivalry game, and we got to take it one day, one step at a time. Whether it's in practice, in the film study, making sure we're getting our schoolwork done so we can get in and watch as much film as possible. So I think it's taking it one game championship season. So each week's its own entity. Yeah, big, strong back. He gets downhill quick. He gets on the angle, and then guys aren't able to, front him up, get in front of him. So he's able to, get on his angle, use his speed and physicality to his strengths. So I think if we do what, we're being taught and know what we're capable of doing, I think we'll be able to do what we need to do.
He's number 2 in the country in yards after contact. You guys played the number 1 guy in the country in Omarion Hampton in week 1. Edelman came in afterwards and said you guys missed 22 tackles. If you're going to clean that up against another big yards after contact guy, what has to change?
Confidence in your tackling. We've seen ourselves do it before. It's going and taking your shot. Again, being confident in what you're doing, not hesitating. Again, not having the moment be too big. It's one play at a time. People are going to miss tackles. We play against great backs, like you said, Martin Hampton, and then number 2 back this week, as you said. It's taking the most and making the most of your opportunities, going and taking a shot, using the tackling system, and then just being confident in your abilities to go make a play.
How have you seen Jack Henderson develop over the past year or so?
It's been awesome. Coming in from down in Louisiana, it was awesome to get a guy like that in the locker room. He's just so much energy, so much passion for the game, and it's been awesome to be able to connect with him outside of football as well. He's a better person than he is off the field than he is on the field, and so just the passion he brings not only to football but to anything he does in life is awesome. Just to be around a guy like that, so he brings so much energy to whatever you might be doing. It doesn't have to be football. It doesn't have to be anything physical or anything like that. He's a very funny guy. He lightens the mood. He's a light to any room that he walks into. He make you smile. So I just think, and then football-wise, we've seen him take massive bounds and leaps in his progression, whether it be pass coverage, run fits, tackling, whatever it might be. He's continuing to break down walls every single day because he's not afraid to make mistakes. He's a guy that's going to go out there and play his heart out, knowing that there's going to be some mistakes, but he's not going to allow that to happen again the next time because he's going to clean it up and make it better.
What's the best gauge of what he's brought down for you guys?
Oh man, I've honestly never tried some myself, but I think he said that when his girlfriend came up, they made a big pot of jambalaya together. So I was not fortunate enough to get some of that, but I'm hoping soon that they'll be able to do that again, and I'll get a bite. It was incredible. I know, even not being able to be out there on the field playing, it was just awesome to be a part and to, do the best that I could in my role to, help us win that game. It takes an effort. It takes a whole team. It's not just one individual effort. So, but to be able to hold that pig up and to, hoist that thing over my head, it was, it's something you dream of growing up, especially from Minnesota. You watch those games, and it just makes it even sweeter when, you get to hold that thing yourself.
In these games, points can be a premium, and then both defenses combined have 3 touchdowns all year this year. Just how important is every yard and every single play in this game?
Absolutely. These Big Ten games, everything's magnified. Those little plays that you may have gotten away with in the first few games, you're not going to get away with anymore. You miss a gap, that ball is going to hit the hole. You get bite on a double move, that ball is going to get caught for a touchdown. So it's executing your details and techniques, fundamentals at an elite level, and taking it one play at a time. We can't get too far ahead of ourselves. Can't get too high, can't get too low. You make a good play, cool. You gotta go do the next one. You get beat on a play, cool. Next play. So it's again not getting too far ahead of yourselves, not making each moment bigger than it is.
Does it seem like the game against Iowa, they'll come down to something? Sometimes it's kind of a freak play.
Yeah, just
Random happens.
taking it one play at a time. If we execute our details and we're in the right spots, we're gonna like the outcome. It's not having any regrets. It's not having a play that, I made a mental mistake. There can't be any of that stuff. It's being in the right play, and if they make a great throw and a great catch, cool. Knock the dust off, get up, and come back at it again. So it's not beating ourselves is really what I think it'll come down to.
Anything else for Cody?
How important are those reads with this quarterback, Caden and McNamara, there, and reading whether it's play action or whether it's a run in terms of how intelligent he is as, I think, his 4th or 5th year quarterback?
Yeah, for sure. Eye discipline is going to be a huge thing. They do a lot of stuff with motions, pre-snap, post-snap, and they're working to get your eyes in the wrong spot so they can, whether it's hit something over the linebacker's head, get it to the flat quick, get a guy in the wrong spot with motions. So it's, again, eye discipline, knowing my job, and then executing once I get there.
All set with Cody? All right. Thanks, Cody.
Thank you, everybody. Appreciate it.